Hello and welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. Thank you very much for joining us. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and our new The Huddle Sports Network. Thank you very much. You can find The Huddle Sports Network on your Roku device. So go check out that content. I'm David Huffman right there, my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and our other co-host, Mr. Matthew James. On today's episode of The Prime, we're going to be breaking down week number 10 in Monday Night Football. We're going to preview week number 11. We're going to give out those game balls. So please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast as we bring you guys daily content here at Prime Sports World. And this is the first show we're doing absolutely live on the Huddle Sports Network. Thank you very much for checking us out. And thank you very much to the Huddle Sports Network for making Prime Sports World part of this TV network family. We very much appreciate it. Happy Tuesday, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Feeling well.
Another day, another dollar.
Yep.
Yes, sir. I had a pretty crazy day at the office, so yeah, let me welcome in the CEO of Prime Sports World, Mr. Israel Vera, into the show. What's up, brother? How are you?
Doing good.
Love to hear it, man. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about Monday Night Football. And we got the Dolphins getting a much-needed victory. I think this snaps a 4-game losing streak that they had before they came into this game, and it snaps the Rams' 3-game losing streak winning streak that they had going on in before this game. Miami 23-15 as the Los Angeles Rams really could never get anything going on offense. Was evident by the 5 field goals they kicked in this game. Tua Tagovailoa was just good enough to win. Took a lot of sacks in this game. It seemed 3 for 36, 20 for 28, 207 yards, a touchdown, and that 1 interception. Malik Washington had the lone receiving touchdown for the Miami Dolphins, and then Tyreek Hill caught the lone receiving touchdown for the Dolphins on the other side. Matthew Stafford, a very up and down game for Stafford. 32 of 46, 293 yards and a pick. Kyron Williams, 15 for 62. And Puka Nacua, 9 for 98 yards, just missed the century mark, but just a yard there. Matthew Stafford had 2 fumbles, lost them both. Kyron Williams, you didn't lose either of them. Matthew Stafford did, and Kyron Williams had 1 fumble and lost that one, as that was like a back-to-back fumble kind of thing. It was like the one play later kind of stuff. Let's talk about it.
It was the Rams. They could move, they moved the ball. They had a couple scoring opportunities in the red zone, and it just stalled. It was ugly. It was difficult to watch. It was all that. It was Kyron Williams, who's as surefire as it gets when you get inside the 10-yard line. I don't even think they ran a play for him. Matthew Stafford's missing throws that he normally doesn't miss. And
he had Kyron Williams wide open in the end zone, towards the very end of the game. That's a throw Matthew Stafford makes on every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He just unfortunately didn't make it on this game.
And I know that young quarterbacks get killed on here, or in the media in general, for their lack of pocket awareness, but it doesn't get more vet status than Matthew Stafford. And that 1 strip fumble that he had, it's just like, dude, you've been playing this game for 14 years. How do you not sense that one? Your internal clock, you should know, hey, I have 3 Mississippi.
The clock is ticking, baby.
I got 3 Mississippis, so I got to get this ball off. And we as Bears fans, we yell at Caleb, "Hey, throw the ball!" Pocket awareness has to be better. And then you have this 15-year vet who's going into the Hall of Fame, still making the same mistake that a rookie's making. It just goes to show you that, pocket awareness, while it's important, it's you're never too young, you're never too old to still have to learn it, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, it's lacking.
I think for another thing in Miami, this was a must-win game. If they want to salvage, I think so too. But if you want to have any chance of even remotely making the playoffs, you had to win this game. I think the Rams, they're 4-5. Their division hasn't been as strong this season. I think they can finally. I think they can finally. I think they can finally. Man, I got thrown off here. Sorry. I think they could be okay in their division, but the East, they're screwed in the
Yeah,
Buffalo is running away with the AFC East. Like, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of knew that.
Welcome back into the fold, Izzy. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Also bring in Christian Simpson real quick. Welcome, Christian. Welcome to the show from the dailyblitz.blog.
What's going on?
I think divisionally they cooked. I think wild card wise, I think they cooked too. I just think it's.
Yeah, they can run it for a wild card.
I don't think they can because like they're asking.
They have a chance.
They're asking everybody else who's ahead of them to lose. Like
That's true. I mean, they got the Chargers that are doing things, but
it's just.
But yeah, I mean, but this is a real. I mean, Miami, if they want to have any chance of still making the playoffs, they still had to win this game. Izzy, Christian, do we want to weigh in real quick before we move on?
This is just proof that anybody can be beat. The Dolphins had a good game plan. They executed it, started fast, moved the ball up and down the field, and most importantly, they contained Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. They really kept them underneath.
Izzy?
Yeah, man. You know what? Miami's defense is going to be the reason why they probably, get into the playoffs. They're good enough for them to kind of make a run. Once that offense kind of gets up to speed, up to snuff, I think that Miami can kind of go on a little run here and kind of squeak into the wild card here. So good win for the Rams.
100%. Moving on from week number 10, but before we close that chapter, let's talk about them game balls. And TJ, you know who's getting my game ball? Jake freaking Bates. 2 50-yard field goals to steal victory from the jaws of defeat against the Houston Texans. And TJ, you know how I feel about Jake Bates. I love his story. I loved him in the UFL. I love him in the NFL. Jake Bates, baby. Is it?
Man, godly game ball for me definitely has to go to Jamar Chase. Definitely, I mean, you go over 200 yards against the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, you have probably the best game of your football career. So game ball got to go to Jamar Chase.
Yeah, not even close.
Magic.
True. I'm gonna give
even
it.
though they lost. My bad. Even though they lost.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Arizona defense, shutting down the New York Jets after them figuring things out in the second half of the last game, and doing their thing. They have a lot of confidence right now, and I mean, I'll say it. At the beginning of the season, I laughed at that. Like, the Cardinals defense was a joke. But they have belief and they're doing things right now.
I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to go the Patriot defense. Yes,
I guess, too.
The Patriots defense. Like, they were laughed at, too.
That's true.
They was laughed at. And then you make a team that's a joke already
at their home. Yeah,
even more of a joke. Like it's great. It's great here in Chicago right now. It's
Christian.
Hey, bye Waldron.
I'm giving it to Kyler Murray. 22 of 24, 266 yards passing, and he accounted for 3 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than he had incompletions.
Love it.
Moving on as we're closing the chapter on number 10 of the NFL season, we open that book to chapter number 11 of the National Football League, and we start with a barn burner on Thursday night football. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, I think who have won 5 straight games, welcoming in the Washington Commanders. Obviously, they're coming off taking that tough loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Christian, I think I know what might be coming from you, my friend.
You met me at the right time, baby. Hey, ready? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Let's go. On my count. 1, 2, 3. Shameless plug
number 1.
baby. Look, finally we get a good Thursday night game. It's something I'm able to finally.
I mean, that last Thursday was a real banger. I know Cincinnati's not good, but
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I haven't previewed a Thursday night game since week 1, Ravens and Chiefs. But nah, that was a tough loss for Washington. And Jaden Daniels is the real deal. But I will say this because it's the easy thing to do. Don't put the blame on this kid. This kid could only throw the ball. He can't make catches. He can only put it to where it needs to be. And your responsibility as a
I mean, Brown. Literally dropped the game, potentially game-winning touchdown. So
yeah, exactly. Philly's quietly going about business. Saquon Barkley's been a godsend for them. He helps open up the passing game. And what Derrick Henry is to the Ravens, that's what Saquon Barkley is to the Eagles. I preview this one on Thursday, an hour before kickoff. Be on the lookout for it.
Matt James.
Yeah, I mean, this is an actual matchup for Thursday. Like, both of y'all said, Philadelphia is getting things going now. I mean, I had them in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to pick Philly to keep things going. It's tough to win at in Philadelphia, financial whatever stadium.
Let's go.
I'm going to give it to Philly, but this is going to be another good game. I mean, it's a good playoff matchup. I mean, potentially. So give me Philly in a close one.
I'm taking the Eagles. I think the Commanders are nice, but they haven't really had the quality wins so far this season. I mean, when they've gone up against tough opponents, they've routinely lost. I'll take the Eagles. I think this game should be competitive, but I have a feeling it might not be. I think Philadelphia's offense is really potent right now. The offensive line is fantastic. This Saquon Barkley, along with the 2 wide receivers, along with Dallas Goedert, who returned from missing a game there. Give me the Eagles. TJ.
Give me the Eagles too. This notion of were the Commanders robbed on Sunday? No, they weren't. Zach Ertz was short. He was short. You cannot stretch the ball past the line once your knee is down. You're short. That's what it was. They didn't miss mark. They didn't miss spot the ball. There was none of that hoop like that. None of that. He was short. Johnny New jumped outside. Game over. Diami Brown catch the damn ball. Then none of this is a problem.
Yeah.
Izzy's muted.
Give me the Eagles to win this ball game.
Izzy.
Yeah. Wait, hold on,
We
bro.
need you.
You don't know me. You don't know me, dog. You don't know me, dog.
We don't have to know you.
I want to see your face on the next one.
True or false?
There we go.
Leave me alone. Anyway, give me the Eagles to win against the young gun. I like the way the Eagles are playing with a lot of golly. They're playing with
Jalen Hurts is busting out those first few whistles, baby.
Yeah.
Talk about a word we ain't heard in a long time.
Hey, bro.
Moving on from there, let's talk about Sunday afternoon football. The first time we got to go to Soldiers Field, where the Chicago Bears welcome in the Green Bay Packers into their house. So we at least talk about it a little bit. Obviously, Shea Waldron fired this morning. What will that matter? What will that mean for this offense? If anything at all?
Nothing.
Christian.
I mean, they should be better. I mean, it can't get any worse.
It could get worse. Let me promise you that. It could for sure get worse.
They not show up to the stadium?
Christian, next game.
No.
Fuck Green Bay.
The change in offensive coordinator, do you think it'll have any impact whatsoever?
Next game.
It could if the players buy in soon. It's gonna take a while because I've always compared a new coach to a salesman. You have to pitch to your players. I tell this to Izzy all the time. You got to pitch to your players what it is you're trying to sell to them, and that it's on them to buy it. But you know what? I see the grin on Izzy's face. You already know who I'm going with. I own you.
Can I? Hey, all right.
I'm taking the Green Bay Packers too.
He's on camera. Fuck Green Bay.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Very mature of you, sir.
Hey, I mean, I actually asked David if I could say that.
next
No,
game.
it's okay.
I never said that. I never said you could say that. I would definitely allow people to swear.
As I could say it.
Hey, we've been a little loose lately on this show.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
Hey,
We've been dropping that
This
bombs like
this
left and
is
right,
Bears.
bro.
This is Bears that team up north week.
We're
All right, let's go.
We're raising
Matt,
we're
Matt,
raising the ratings.
Matt,
We're raising the
Matt,
ratings.
Hold
Hold on,
Matt,
can I talk?
Why do that?
PI stir things up.
Why
Yeah,
do that?
Matt.
Why do that?
Okay.
What gives you the right to do that? This is not a rivalry. Rivalries is when both teams has a shot at winning. This is not a
Right.
rivalry.
Right, Matt LaFleur has not lost to the Bears.
Like, stop trash talking him. Like stop.
All right. Can we talk about the Lions Jaguars or somebody? Then
Hold on. No. Look. This is what I'm. TJ, I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna be right down the middle here.
all right, let's go.
Yes, I
Let's go,
am.
buddy.
I'm giving my unbiased opinion. So
You said biased opinion. You didn't say unbiased.
I gotta sneak
Hey, I told my family and friends Green Bay's going to win by 40 this week. So
They're not. They're not going to win by 40. They're not going to win by 40. If you got some pride, if that defense got some pride, they're gonna come out and they're gonna try and get at make Jordan Love turn him over. He's the turnover machine right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Love gave the Bears a couple and put them in some good positions. Right now, it's all about
they're gonna do anything with it. It's not like they're gonna do anything
DJ
with it.
is right now giving a goddamn. I'm gonna go with the Packers just because of right now. I don't like the situation where it's a new offensive coordinator within a week. What's really gonna change, right?
He doesn't have a magic wand. That's probably
It's no magic wand that's gonna fix the offensive line. But I will say this: that we need the same energy from the Bears players that y'all want Tyson Badgett to play. All the veterans, DJ Moore, because we know
Whoever said it,
whoever said it, we need that same energy because Caleb Williams is not going to be removed as a starter. We need that same energy on the field. So I don't want to see no slacking on the routes. I don't want to see y'all not turning over the heads. I want to see y'all running with the same type of effort, the same type of energy that y'all wanted Tyson Badgett in. Same for Caleb Williams because y'all got to help the young man because he is a good talent. He is a great talent. He is a good quarterback, and he just needs help. And yes, is he part of the problem? Yes. Does he need to get rid of the ball a little bit faster? Yes. Is he seeing ghosts out there? Yes. But at the same time, we need to fix him. This is a critical part of his progression as a quarterback in the NFL. And hopefully we'll see a good game on Sunday.
Moving on from there, but staying.
We spent too much
time on this.
Moving on,
Sorry, guys.
Next game as well. Jacksonville Jaguars going into Ford Field, taking on the Detroit Lions. I'm taking the Lions. I don't think this game is going to be remotely close.
Trevor Lawrence even playing?
No, I think his season's over.
Yeah, Detroit.
He's got something sprained AC joint at this point.
Man, look, we're gonna be they gonna switch over to the next game by the third quarter.
They might even make it to the third quarter. This game might be over at halftime. Looking for one of those games where the Lions throw up a half century in this game.
Man, we got some.
They're capable of it.
We got some stinkers early on in the.
Yeah, it's true. The early afternoon window, we got the Las Vegas Raiders going down to South Beach, taking on the 3-6 Miami Dolphins. The Raiders are coming off their bye, I do believe. No, I don't know who they got beat by last week. It doesn't really matter. They are going into Miami.
David, they've been on a bye week all year.
All year.
I don't think they played. Yeah.
They're on their bye. Not that it matters whatsoever. The last time these two teams played, with Miami Dolphins got the edge last season, 20-13. It'll be almost a year or two of the date that these two teams are going to rematch. Christian.
Uh-huh.
Dolphins.
All that playoff talk y'all said about the Dolphins. They got to win this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. From there, we're going to swing into the NFC North, taking on the AFC South as the Minnesota Vikings are going into Nissan Stadium, taking on the Titans. Last time these two teams played, that looks like a preseason game, but not that it really matters. How do you think this version shakes out? TJ?
I think the Rams bounce back. Give me the I think it's going to be close, but give me the Rams.
This is Vikings, Titans.
Minnesota.
How you gonna skip? How you gonna skip? Oh, because you
No,
said
I
Raiders.
didn't skip. No.
Yeah, you said Rams.
You did.
This is
Dolphins, and then you.
I know. Listen. As I explained 2 weeks ago, I build these graphics with ESPN, but I go through the games with NFL Network, and sometimes they're in different orders. So
read what's on the screen, bro. You sending us.
My bad. It's anyways.
What's up, son? Hey, let's not come at the host now. Let's not come at the host.
We got this, guys.
No. All I'm gonna say is, David, it's open enrollment with most jobs. Make sure you get vision at work.
Damn. Vikings.
Look at the Vikings as well. Let's just move on. From there, let's swing the battle between the NFC West and the AFC East. The Los Angeles Rams going into Foxborough in a rematch of the Super Bowl from 5 or so years ago. Very different teams going up against each other. No Jared Goff, no Tom Brady, no Todd Gurley. Last time these two teams played was 4 years ago. The Rams won that game 24-3. Christian.
Dang.
I think New England's going to play them tough, but where the Rams have the edge, obviously, is offensively. And I don't know if New England has enough to put the ball in the air and really make an effort to push the ball up and down the field. I like the Rams to bounce back.
I do too.
I
think you put Christian Gonzalez on. I think Gonzalez is going to take turns covering both Nakua and Cup. I think he's gonna go whoever has, like whoever's killing them that drive or whatever. I think that's how it's gonna operate for him on Sunday. But I still think
so hard to guard. It's so hard to guard them.
I'm taking the Patriots. I know this may sound like I watched the Rams this past weekend, and their offense looked stagnant. Their offensive line couldn't really block effectively. And I know the Patriots are not, but they play hard. And I just think the Patriots have something about them right now. And I like what I've seen out of Drake May. This Rams defense, outside of their front seven, I think the secondary can be absolutely had. Look for Keaton Butte to have a good game. Look for Jalen Polk to get his second career NFL touchdown. Maybe his first one got called back. I don't really remember in that game against the Bears. But I'm going Patriots.
That's cute.
Matt James.
Give me the Rams.
I'm going Rams. And a close one, though. I think they bounce back. I mean, figuring things out from last week. I mean, that was one of those, unlike the Rams, especially having, their, receivers back and shit. But Kyron Williams will get, his touchdown. And they'll be
that's what it was. I think they also couldn't establish the run game against the Dolphins.
Yeah, with Kyron Williams, yeah.
So I think once they get that going, that'll open everything else up. So, yeah, give me
Izzy, you taking the Rams?
Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. Yes, sir.
Moving on from this game and moving on for two teams that have been struggling so far this season. We got the 2-7 Cleveland Browns going into the Bayou and taking on the 3-7 New Orleans Saints. The Saints got their first victory in 7 attempts this past most recent weekend against the Atlanta Falcons. The Cleveland Browns were on their bye. Obviously, last time these two teams played was 2 years ago, and the Saints got the 7-point victory, 17-10. TJ, how do you think this version shakes out in the Bayou?
Man, the Cleveland Browns saving grace is what's going on in Chicago right now, because that's just that's ugly. Like that's ugly from top to bottom too. And give me the Saints. Give me the interim head coach to get his second victory. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. The Browns kind of did a mini fire sale at the end towards the trade deadline, kind of sold off some of their bigger pieces. The Saints, they seem to be playing harder for this head coach. Was it Rizzi? I think is his last name. I can't remember his first name right off the top of my head. But the Saints seem to play with a little bit of fire, a little bit of passion, a little bit of moxie going up against the game against the Atlanta Falcons. I think they carry that over against the Cleveland Browns. Give me the Saints.
The last 2 weeks they figured it out. It's very simple. Get the ball to Alvin Kamara. That's it. I mean,
who the thunk it, right?
Like who would have
Simple game plan.
It was just let's just give the ball to our best player on the team. And think good things happen.
Good things happen.
Good, right? You know what I'm saying? Give me the Saints. Ooh, but you know what though? Hey, who's gonna be the starter? Jameis Winston?
Probably J-Mo.
He gonna give you one, but he might throw a few of them on New Orleans because playing his old team, he'll have a little bit of fire in him. Hopefully he's looked at the tape and all those terrible throws he threw the week before. And you know what? Another week. Wait, hold on. I'm picking the Saints, but I think it's gonna be close. And I think another week of Nick Chubb having a bye week, getting healthier. I think you'll see a big game out of Nick Chubb as well against the Saints. But I got the Saints.
So, Matt James, are you saying whichever team's running back has the bigger day, they might likely win this game?
Yes, yeah. I think so.
All right, then New Orleans.
Christian.
New Orleans.
Yeah, this one can go either way.
Either way, it really can.
It really can. But you know what? I'm going with that crazy man that eats the W's.
I respect that.
Give me Cleveland. Yeah. Jameis is going to come in, nice, chip on his shoulder. But most importantly, the Saints struggle to stop the run. This could be a Nick Chubb game all game long. I think it comes down to a field goal. Give me Cleveland.
I respect that.
From there, our second to last game in the late afternoon window, the Indianapolis Colts at 4-6, going into MetLife Stadium, taking on Aaron Rodgers and what's left of the New York Jets. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago, and the Colts hung up 45 on this team en route to a 45-30 victory. Christian, how do you think this version shakes out 3 years later, almost to the date, actually?
I don't like what I'm seeing from the Jets whatsoever. This was supposed to be on Sunday night, and it got flexed. Thank God. I'm gonna go.
They picked the wrong game to flex into that, whatever. But whatever.
I'm going Indy on the road. I like what the Colts front four is able to do. I think this could be a DeForest Buckner game. Latu on the other side, he could have a big game. The Colts are going to ground and pound with Jonathan Taylor, and they're going to get the Jets in a lot of long yardage situations. I like Indy. I do not like what I'm seeing from the Jets.
I'm also picking the Indianapolis Colts. The offensive line for the Jets has been a problem for a majority of the season, and they haven't done anything to fix it or make it better.
It's been a problem for perpetuity.
But I'll take the Colts. I think this game will be somewhat close. I don't think that either team is going to score 45 points in this game like they did 3 years ago. But I think if you can get 20 points, I think you can win this game. Give me the Colts.
Matt James. You're a better man. Take the under.
I'm going to Indy. So,
this is not the swan song that Aaron Rodgers imagined.
No,
is it?
For sure not. Tears Achilles first season, stake the second season. It's tough.
It also just goes to show you just how hard what Tom Brady did, what Peyton Manning did. Like, it just goes to show you just how hard that actually is. Like, and I understand Peyton Manning was a shell of a shell in that last year, that Super Bowl win that they got. But Peyton Manning, while in Denver, did win an MVP.
Yeah,
he did.
Two. Did he win two? Or because Adrian Peterson had that insane season, so he didn't win the second one, or the first one. But
he did go, like, he did win an MVP. He did go to 2 Super Bowls. He does have the record for passing yards in a season.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay in year 1 and wins it all. Like, that's just hard. If you're the Jets, hey, it can't get no. Yes, it can. It can absolutely get worse. This would probably be rock bottom for the Jets if you lose to this Colts team, who can't figure out how to develop Anthony Richardson. Joe Flacco throwing 3 interceptions, and they were bad interceptions at that. This is another one of those, hey, give the ball to your best player. Oh, who is your best player? Oh, the guy running the ball and Jonathan Taylor. Give him the ball.
I mean, you can make the argument that might be the case for both of these two teams. I mean, Breece Hall is probably the best player on the Jets. I mean, give him the football.
Give him the ball.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. The Jets aren't going to do it because the Jets still have this notion that Aaron Rodgers can come in
It's
and he
Aaron
can
Rodgers.
win games with his arm. And look, Izzy can probably attest to this. I say this to him all the time. If this were 10 years ago, I would not be saying this. But and I tell TJ this all the time as well. Aaron Rodgers doesn't scare me anymore. I will gladly play zone, and I will gladly let him throw the ball over the top. I will play off those wide receivers 4 and 5 yards, and I will let them work down the field. He can still throw it, but you notice he's become more interception prone now. But that's
and even the throws ain't the same. They're not the same caliber of throws.
no,
We saw that game against what was it? We saw that game against Buffalo, not the Hail Mary, but the interception. Like, bro, that was severely underthrown.
Oh, the one
And
to Mike
somehow
Williams? Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, and somehow Mike Williams gets blamed for that. It's like, no, bro, like that was an underthrown ball. It is what it is.
Man, the Jets are dumpster fire right now, man. Total dumpster fire, man. I mean, it's pretty bad. Aaron Rodgers, 41, looking 41. I don't know what he thought he was doing going to the New York Jets in the first place, trying to follow Brett Favre's path. I don't know what he wanted to do.
He ain't gonna make it to the Vikings.
He ain't gonna make it to the Vikings. That's for damn sure, TJ. He need an Indianapolis coach. I like Jonathan Taylor to have a big game against this team. I don't care where they're just playing at home, on the road, doesn't matter. They stink.
To the final game in the late afternoon window, and is an absolute barn burner against two AFC North foes, rivals, two teams that just straight up don't like each other. The Baltimore Ravens coming in at 7-3, going into Heinz Field. Yeah, it's still Heinz Field to me. The home of the 7-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. Both these teams coming off getting victories. Obviously, the Ravens on Thursday night and the Steelers, both of them kind of won on like last second kind of. So, Christian, let me hear it, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Shameless
number 3.
We all did it in unison. That makes my heart warm. But look, Baltimore, they're 7-3. The offense is stronger this year than the defense, which is so strange to say. But guys, can you imagine if Baltimore had the defense they had last year paired up with this offense? They are the best team in football, without question. And the Steelers, I remember a certain somebody. I ain't gonna say his name. His name is Tim. He told me that the Steelers were gonna lose every single game that they play with Russell Wilson, and they're 3-0. How do I say his name, y'all? His name is Russell. Last name Wilson. Not good. He was not good last week, but when he needed to be great and when he needed to make throws, he delivered. I said it yesterday on the show. Justin Fields isn't making those throws. I previewed this one tomorrow. I can't wait. I think it's going to be more of an offensive showdown.
Nobody could stop this offense in the NFL right now for the Baltimore Ravens. They win. I think the Steelers, Russell Wilson, it's been a nice story, but I'm also not sure what Kyle Hamilton's status is. I know he was like in a walking boot or something. So if his season is over, this Ravens defense goes from not good to even
season necessarily means.
Yeah, but I haven't looked up his status. What the update is on his injury. But anyways, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. I just think that this offense is on another level right now, and I think the Steelers showed, like, we saw what Jaden Daniels and the Commanders did. I mean, they easily could have won that game. This is a better offense than the Baltimore Ravens have. Give me Baltimore. Izzy.
Give me Baltimore as well. Like you said, man, one of the best rushing offenses in the league. And like Christian said, man, if the defense could follow suit and play, give a damn in the back end. Just give a damn. Just play with some effort. Wrap up, tackle, because there's only a couple guys that know how to tackle on that team. One of them's injured. The other one's name is Roquan Smith.
Whose fine got rescinded today, by the way.
Oh,
Mhm.
jeez. So
Yep.
it's just somebody else got to give a damn on that team, defensively at least. But when it comes to the Ravens going against the Steelers defense, there's no doubt in my mind that the Ravens will still put up points no matter what defense is in front of them, no matter what pass rushers in front of them. It doesn't matter.
I said it last week. If you're Pittsburgh, it don't matter. It does not matter who the quarterback is. It does not matter who the quarterback is, but you want to win this game.
Yep.
Like this is the game. Like this is the game. You want to cement yourself in Steeler lore. Beat the Baltimore Ravens. And if you're Russell Wilson, I understand the plan with. I think I do that. The plan, like you're right now, and Justin Fields is the quote unquote future. But if you win this game, and you win this game, that makes you what 8-2, 8-3, 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
You give the suits upstairs a lot to sit down and talk about. Like, hey, maybe we don't move off of Russ after this year.
I mean, they're both on 1-year contracts, so I mean, they have to. I mean, yeah. So,
like, maybe we don't move off of Russ after this year. Maybe we give Russ a Baker Mayfield type deal, a 3-year, and somehow still keep Justin Fields to he gets to a point where you want him to be at. Because Christian, to your point, the whole Justin Fields not making those throws. We're not even sure that they were even asking Justin Fields to try those throws.
No, you weren't. But look at it like this: when early on in the year, when they were winning football games, they were winning those games despite Justin Fields, not because of him. It was they were leaning on a running game and they were leaning on defense. And now with Russell Wilson, you can open the playbook up. He can scramble. He can stretch the field. He can hit guys down over the numbers. This is going to be a fun one. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I haven't previewed a Ravens Steelers game on the site in almost 5
I do know one thing. If you're the Ravens and you get that go ahead touchdown with a minute 50 left, you are definitely sweating bullets because he gets joked about, he gets clowned a lot. But Russell Wilson is one of the last few quarterbacks I want to see with the ball in his hands.
Matt James.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Baltimore to win it all from the beginning of the season. They've shown who they are. I mean, great offense. The defense has been relying too much on the offense right now. Pittsburgh, I mean, they've been playing better with offensively, at least with Russell Wilson, and we've gone through this all. I'm going to take Baltimore, and this is going to be a nice clash. And give me Baltimore with their defense stopping Pittsburgh in the end.
From there, going into Mile High Stadium, the home of the Denver Broncos, as they welcome in the Atlanta Falcons. Both of these teams lost a game with a field goal basically at the horn. One way, the Broncos, obviously, the other was blocked, and New Orleans hit the field goal in that game. The last time these two teams played was 4 years ago. The Atlanta Falcons won that game 34-27. Matt James, how do you think this version shakes out? Denver, surprisingly, at 5-5, and the Atlanta Falcons sitting at 6-4.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have been doing well. Denver's one of those where what Denver's going to show up? I mean, their defense does well. What can both Knicks do against this defense? I'm going to take Atlanta on the road in a close one with Kirk Cousins and Bijan at the end.
I think the Atlanta Falcons are really kicking themselves for not adding another edge rusher to this football team as they try to make a play for the playoffs. I mean, they're going to be good enough to win the division, but the real question is, are they good enough to go all the way? And they just don't generate a pass rush without. They just don't. I think they're like the number one. They have the least amount of sacks, I think, in the NFL. They may have the least amount of pressures. And so they can't really take advantage of the fact that Bo Nix is a rookie. He's made some rookie mistakes. Not last week. He was real good against Kansas City. They just didn't win the game. I also think the Denver defense is going to limit the running game of the Atlanta Falcons, and that's what they really do well. I think in a mini upset spoiler, I'm taking the Broncos to win this game. TJ,
I tend to be in agreement with you, David. We really dropped the ball. We talked Ravens, Steelers, and we bring up not one mention of George Pickens. And hey, bro, go get that.
So TJ, who you taking in that Ravens Steelers game?
I'm taking Baltimore, but I wouldn't be surprised one iota if it's Russell to Pickens in that last minute to
skip you. I didn't mean to.
No. I didn't make a prediction.
Okay, all right, good.
But I say that to say, like, yeah, that secondary in Atlanta is tough. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates, like they got hitters all over the place. But Cortland Sutton,
Alford's still there. I mean,
yeah, but Cortland Sutton got one of the best catch radius in the league. And it's like, hey, if it's Cortland Sutton 1-on-1 with anybody, I feel fairly confident that Cortland Sutton gonna go get that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Dirty Birds are back
to an extent, because like today,
a little bit.
You let a conference opponent who you may see down the road if things play out right in Detroit go get another edge rusher. Like you're saving grace right now is Aiden Hutchinson's not there. Can you imagine Aiden Hutchinson with Zadarius Smith? Like
they don't trade for Zadarius Smith.
But that's
true.
But I also don't think they go get Zadarius Smith if Aiden Hutchinson isn't hurt. Yeah. But if you're Atlanta, you kind of dropped the ball there. Like you could have went and got another edge, another linebacker, another anything. Yeah. Denver's I don't care how bad they've been. Denver is always a tough place to play.
Yeah, you're right.
That altitude, man. Like, I don't care that altitude. You just can't. Ain't no quote unquote getting used to that unless you just absolutely live there and play there all the time. Give me Denver by 10.
Is he?
Yeah, man. I mean, I gotta go Denver as well, man. You have a defense that is top 5 in terms of yards per carry given up. I think they only give up 3.9 yards a carry in Denver, and you're going against one of the best rushing offenses in the land. But also they're playing on the road in Denver. And so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough slate, and that team's going to come out. And Bo Nix, by the way, offensively, Bo Nix has gotten better every game that he's played. Sean Payton has developed him, and it's looking bright for Denver. I like Denver in this game against the Falcons, and I think I'm in agreement with you guys. I think it'll be a 10+ point defeat.
I never said that.
I said that.
I said Atlanta.
Not David. Well, whoever said it, TJ.
I said that.
TJ said it. I
think this game's gonna be close.
I don't think it'll be close.
Christian.
Yeah, this is another one that could go either way because Atlanta, they'll come in here with a chip on their shoulder, but Denver's defense has really stood out to me. They give up 4.4 yards per play, which is the fewest in the NFL. Sean Payton knows the NFC South. He gets a sweep. I'm taking Denver.
Moving on to the battle in the NFC West as we got the 4-5 Seattle Seahawks going into Levi's Stadium, the home of the 5-4 San Francisco 49ers. And I'm taking San Francisco. They look well-oiled when they had Chris McCaffrey back in this offense. Another week with him to get more involved in the game. Look for him to be more involved in the passing game. Looking for him to be more involved in the running game. I think San Francisco. I think the Seattle. I mean, we talked about it early on in the season. They have not really had any quality wins. So this is going to be another game where I think they struggle. Give me San Fran.
They're going to need Christian McCaffrey to continue to build upon his performance from last week. I think last week they're just kind of breaking him.
100 scrimmage yards though still.
Yeah, I think last week they're just trying to break him in, and he still got 100 scrimmage yards. He caught the ball well out the backfield. He didn't look rusty at all. I think that, they just were just kind of breaking him in. I think this week you'll start to see a little bit more of what Christian McCaffrey can do for you, and we all know what he can do for you. He's such a lethal weapon. But now I got to point to the other guys offensively. Can Ricky Pearsall, can Jawan Jennings continue, their good play on the field with Brandon Ayuk out? I talked to a 49ers fan earlier today, and he thinks that Jawan Jennings can supersede Brandon Ayuk in this offense at some point.
I don't think so.
Jawan Jennings was on his way to Super Bowl MVP if they would.
He was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So that's how much respect that he has amongst their fan base. Give me the 49ers as well to beat the Seahawks.
DJ.
The Niners are getting healthy at the right time. For the most part, obviously, Brandon Ayuk's done for the year, so he's obviously not coming back. But again, I think there's pressure building in that organization week to week. If you're the Niners, I said it yesterday. Y'all can't keep having these good teams and these great rosters and whatnot, and constantly coming up short. Eventually, the excuses run out. There's nothing left to be said. You can't keep coming up short.
Well, it's short to one team and one team only, and we all know who that team is.
It's the same thing though, is he?
It's one team. If it's one team that they cannot beat, it's the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
But they got lost in the regular season too. But what is it here?
It's the same thing. I'm taking the Niners just because for the simple fact that Seattle just doesn't have enough. Collectively they don't have enough to beat San Francisco.
Yeah, I like the 49ers as well. Christian McCaffrey opens up the offense. He's that safety valve for Brock Purdy. And he alleviates a lot of their red zone issues when he's on the field. Seattle, like TJ said, they simply just don't have enough.
In my opinion, is
San
the
Francisco.
game of. Oh, sorry, Matt James.
Yeah, San Francisco. Watch out. Enjoy your bye week, Cardinals. All right, go ahead.
To what is, in my opinion, the absolute game of the weekend. We have the 9-0 Kansas City Chiefs rolling into Orchard Park, the home of the 8-2 Buffalo Bills. Fresh, I think they've won 4 games in a row coming up to this one. Last time these two teams played was in the playoffs last year. Kansas City won that game when Tyler Bass missed that field goal, 27-24. And Christian, let me hear it, baby.
Look, I'm gonna need all y'all for this one. I'm gonna really need all y'all for this one. So look, let's get ready. 1, 2, 3.
Number 3.
Izzy, I forgive you because you was drinking, and hopefully it was something strong. Listen, Kansas City's record doesn't necessarily go with how they played. Because let's just be real here. They have not looked good. They have not looked dominant. They haven't looked like what a 9-0 team should look like. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I will give them is they find ways to win games. That's what championship pedigree is all about. Buffalo did not look good on Sunday against Indianapolis. I know Keon Coleman's probably going to be out for this one, but I wonder what the status is of Amari Cooper. You acquired Amari Cooper for a game of this magnitude, right? This is going to be a head-on collision course. I mean, the NFL today with JV and those guys, they're going to Orchard Park for this game, so it's almost going to be like a college game day type of feel. And I wish NFL games kind of did that a little bit more. Man, I cannot wait to get my hands on this one. I am actually dropping this one on Sunday, an hour before the game. That's how big of a matchup this is.
So, as many people who follow this show a lot, I usually pick the Buffalo Bills in a lot of these scenarios. Not today. Kansas City, they just find ways to win football games, and like no matter what the scenario is. I mean, you watch them play; they've been bad, they've been abysmal at times, but they haven't lost a game where they were trailing in the second half this season. They just find ways to win games. Patrick Mahomes finds a way to will this team. This defense is otherworldly right now. I'm taking Kansas City. TJ.
Man, give me Buffalo. Hey, I'm saying it like Kansas City, like they can't keep getting by the skin of their teeth. Eventually, that shit comes to an end, and it's a foot out of bounds by Isaiah Likely. It's a bad call against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's
another bad call against
right. It's a mispass call against Atlanta. It's a who am I missing? It's a decision not to go for the win against Tampa Bay, like by Tampa Bay. It's a blocked field goal against the Denver Broncos. Like each game they've had just that one play or one decision or one call go their way. And the Cincinnati thing and the Atlanta thing, like that was a week apart. Like 1 week it was pass interference, the next week it wasn't. And it's just like, why is it always y'all? How do y'all constantly get
Matt James?
Yeah, same thing. I picked Buffalo at home. I mean, they're going to pull it off.
Izzy?
Oh man, this is a tough game, man.
It is.
This is a very tough game, man. This obviously Kansas City's defense has carried their team the last couple seasons, and in the regular season, Buffalo has, if I'm not mistaken,
beat them down.
They beat them.
Yes, has had their number. Has had their number, and so it's only in the playoffs where Buffalo just seems to have a trouble beating the mighty Kansas City Chiefs, and I think it continues, especially in Buffalo. I think this offense will, they're not going to be able to run the ball. It's going to have to be in the hands of Josh Allen, right? If they can try to get certain spots against, this is a top 5 running defense, by the way, that they're going against. So if they can try to get James Cook, in some spots, some successful spots, maybe, down and distance to run the football in the red zone, because they're going to have to. And also, by the way, Kansas City, one of the best red zone defenses in the league as well. So Josh Allen's going to have to get it done with his feet, definitely with his feet, and he's going to have to.
Are the Buffalo Bills the first team to have an individual rush for 60 yards against the Chiefs?
No, they won't.
No.
By the way, Buffalo has won the last 3 regular season matchups between these two teams. Kansas City has won the last 3 playoff games against these two teams. So, moving on into Sunday Night Football, we got to be a little bit quicker through these last 2 games because we only got 5 minutes left in our show. Let's start with Sunday Night Football. Cincinnati going to beautiful SoFi Stadium, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 years ago. The Chargers hung up 41 on Cincinnati en route to a rout. 41-22. Izzy, how do you think this one shakes out?
Who's got it better than us? Nobody. Give me the Los Angeles Chargers to beat the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm also I think they're going to run the football effectively against the Cincinnati Bengals team that has proven they can't stop the run. But this may be like a higher scoring game than many people predict because Joe Burrow, as we mentioned on many times in the show, the dude has been playing lights out this season. But give me the Chargers. TJ.
Give me the Bengals. I think, and I hate that they're probably going to win this game because it's going to create a sense of false hope. They have no shot at catching the wild card. They have no shot at catching. They have no shot at catching Pittsburgh or Baltimore in their division. Winning this game for Cincinnati is strictly a moral compass victory in the grand scheme of things. The Chargers. This game means a hell of a lot more to them than it does Cincinnati.
Christian.
I'm with TJ. I'm taking Cincinnati. I think it's a must-win for them. And in a situation where if the game has to get into a shootout, I'm going to lean towards Joe Burrow.
I'm going to lean on Joe Burrow more than
I just don't know if if the Chargers have anybody that can hang with Jamar, I bank at Chase 1-on-1.
Well, they do have Joshua Palmer.
Oh man, but at the end of the day, like if you're the Chargers, you really just have to stop them once or twice and score on the drives that
You also have to just limit the amount of times the Cincinnati Bengals have the football. They've done that effectively this season by running the football effectively with J.K. Dobbins. That's been a recipe for success.
Yeah, David, and you just led me to my next point. It's contrasting styles of football. Whereas, Cincinnati, they want to run it and gun it. The Chargers, they want to ugly the game up. They want to play that dog fight.
I also think that this Chargers defense is playing way over their head. Their secondary is not this good, and they're going to get exposed, I think, in this game a little bit.
Yeah.
Matt James.
All right, give me the Chargers because they have better coaching with Harbaugh. And
I'm actually changing my vote. So. I'm going with Cincinnati too. I'll roll with it.
Thanks.
Monday. It had nothing to do with you. I just thought about this offense going up against this Charger defense and this secondary that's not all that good.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Right.
It's tough.
Moving on to Monday Night Football, the Battle of Texas as the Houston Texans go into Jerry World. And thankfully, it will be nighttime, so it won't matter where the sun is on this particular night.
Houston hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Houston 6-4, Dallas 3-6. Both these teams are coming off taking an L. Actually, they're both coming off taking 2 in a row. At least that I can think of off the top of my head. Last time these two teams played was 2 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won that game?
I believe it was Dallas.
Dallas did win that game, 27-23. How about this version?
Yeah, well, this has been a fun edition of the Prime. David Rivera, TJ Hopkins, Matt
What it do?
Yes, sir.
Listen, we will see you guys. I'll be back on next week, but this has been the Prime on Prime Sports World. Make sure you share and subscribe. And gentlemen, what do we
How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?
Houston.
I'm thinking Houston Texans too. Even though I haven't exactly I don't know who the quarterback is for the Dallas Cowboys going to be. Dak Prescott's done. I'm taking the Houston Texans.
Izzy, real quick. How about them Cowboys? Or don't give a piss about nothing but the
Tide. But yeah, we're Prime Sports World. Thank you very much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. David Huffman, Israel Rivera, TJ Hopkins, Matt James, and from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. Gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
Hey, PSA.
Bring the
I bet not see one Christmas tree up. I bet not see not one Christmas tree.
All right, guys, be safe, all right?
Tree. I got my year-round tree. Just don't take it down.
Be safe.
It's been up since last year. We'll be back here tomorrow for Fantasy Football Weekly. Y'all take care and stay safe out there. Peace out, guys. Peace out, Matt.